Wisconsin U.S. Senator and ranking member of the Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations for the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, Senator Ron Johnson, joins me. Good evening, sir. And, you know, this is the type of story that you read about China, Syria, North Korea. I mean, even, you know, animal rescue organizations don't treat their animals like this.
Well, Greta, first of all, we had Ms. White and her fellow whistleblower testify before a panel that was chaired by Senator Grassley months ago. When I was chairman of Homeland Security, when Vice President Harris was on my committee, we heard testimony in 2019 that they were selling children, one little boy, for $83. So this was very well known. I think one of the most powerful bits of testimony from the whistleblowers was when they went to their supervisors. This is to paraphrase the supervisor: we don't get sued by the sex traffickers. We get sued if we hold these people for more than 20 days. They get sued by the immigration groups. And so it's just a process. It's how do you encounter, process, and disperse. That has been the entire Biden administration's technique for handling this flood that now the New York Times is finally admitting we've got an illegal immigration problem here 4 years too late. So this is well known to the Biden administration, to the mainstream legacy corporate media, and yet they remain silent. They covered up for it for years.
It's deplorable that so many of us are scandalized by human rights violations in these other countries that I named, like China, North Korea, Syria. But these are human rights violations. They're happening right here. We know about it. It's in numbers of thousands, and we act like it's not happening, or it just happens in other countries, but not us.
Greta, it's hundreds of thousands of children they can't account for. Hundreds of thousands. The New York Times a couple of years ago wrote about the fact that they were missing 85,000. Unfortunately, that was just the tip of the iceberg. So how do you think these young girls, young women, pay off their $7,000 to $15,000 human trafficking fees? They're putting into the sex trade. It's just the reality. And again, it's well known. They know exactly what they're doing. They knew that these addresses were to storage units, that they were sending the children to the same sponsor, to an address that didn't make sense, thousands to the same illicit sponsor. So again, that's what's scandalous about this is this was well known. I was raising this issue when I was chairman of the committee. That's 6, 7 years ago. But the Biden administration plowed ahead with this, and we literally have lost hundreds of thousands of these unaccompanied children.
And I don't know why it's just this whistleblower and a couple more who testified before a committee, why there are only a few of them. I mean, it's like, it's just so unthinkable from top to bottom. And you know who I get angry about is Secretary Mayorkas. He acts like none of this ever happens. I mean, to me, it's been so disgraceful how he has performed his job. But anyway, I'll take the last word on that. Senator Ron Johnson, thank you, sir.
Have a good evening. Merry Christmas.
People think news just happens. It doesn't. It happens because there's someone there to capture the moment, to explain it and share it. That's my job. I go where news breaks and give you the facts. Join me for The Record on Newsmax.